Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming. This is Fear the Walking Dead, Season 4, Episode 15, Countdown Live. A lot of stuff going on. So before we get into tonight's countdown, we will talk about the spoilers. So we'll give a shout out to Spoiling Dead's fan page for providing tonight's spoilers. But I do have to say this because I've gotten a ton of messages over the last couple days. The Rick death spoiler that's out there is fake. It is fake. Do not buy into it. Do not believe it. I'm sorry, I usually don't call out. I did not watch the video, but several people sent me stuff and said, did you hear it on another YouTube channel? I guess it was PT or some channel, but they're actually making fun on a spoiler site of the fact that a YouTuber was out there talking about it to be a real spoiler because this fan, Hawk, whatever, he cut and pasted these 1 through 5 episodes all the way through. It was fan fiction. It is not real. So before you ask me tonight, is it real? Have you heard? Have you heard? It is not. So don't buy into it. It's something about, I saw it posted on several of our videos and I deleted it and I went to a couple different sources and then I saw this guy saying, I can't believe people actually thought that what I wrote was real. So he's just kind of making an ass out of people. And I feel bad that somebody did it because we've all been in that situation. So like I said, I'm not making fun of people for running with it, but at the same time, it should have been a little bit more thoroughly investigated. But and I don't even know if we will find out because Spoiling Dead will get it, and they may hold it because they've done that on several major deaths. They may know already and not promote it. So I wouldn't get my hopes up too quickly. I do want to, we're going to go through tonight's spoilers. Also, we are going to be doing a reaction video tonight. I kind of went back and forth on it based on the schedule. But yes, at 10:15 tonight, we will do a reaction to tonight's episode because I think tonight's episode is going to be pretty good. And also, the episode 1 spoilers for The Walking Dead are out. We are going to talk about episode number 1 tomorrow night. So I know many of you know, and I know many of you have sources as well. I just ask you not to post it. Don't post it on our Facebook fan page. And tomorrow night, if you want to join the chat, tomorrow night's chat will be talking about episode number 1 and will contain spoilers. So I just want to warn everybody in advance. So let me do a couple shout outs because I don't want to miss the super chatters either. So I see Valar in the house. Valar says, hello 99 Army, Kills, Steph, Kales, Emmy, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, patrons, and of course all the super chatters. Thank you so much, Valar. Sorry I didn't start with that, but I just had to get that in the beginning of this video because so many people are hyped up and they think that that's the way Rick dies, and it's not. So, and also, Pete D with a super chat. I love the new thumbnail there, Pete D. So he says, hello all, 2 weeks to go. We can do it. 2 weeks of Fear the Walking Dead. And, boy, we are just around the corner with The Walking Dead, too. I know everybody is excited about it. So, we will talk about The Walking Dead tomorrow. So, let's get into it. So once again, we're going to talk about tonight's episode. I'm going to give you the spoilers. So if you don't want to know what happens tonight, thank you for showing up. Go eat some snacks, hang out with your family. But we are going to go through and tell you. It's not going to give you every detail, but it is going to give you an overview. And once again, this is provided by Spoiling Dead's fan page. So here we go. You have been warned. Once we do this, I'm going to ask you to, based on what I tell you, I'm going to ask you to give tonight's episode a rating. And then in the reaction video, we'll kind of compare your rating and where it all kind of fell into place. So here we go. How does the episode begin? So we are going to start up on the rooftop all over again. And we've got confused Morgan. Morgan, you guys saw Morgan. He's just like, what do I do? Can I lead? Can I do anything? And, June was trying to give him a little bit of pep talk. But apparently he's going to hear Alicia over the radio tonight, and that's going to give him a little motivation because she's going to say, hey, we found John, we found Strand. So we do have the reunion, and that just gives him a little bit more incentive. And then he starts getting his thoughts back together, and he talks about a way out, and he says, well, we're going to take the way we came in. We're going to hit the elevator while the generator's still working. So let's get back to the elevator. Let's see, Alicia, Charlie, and Martha. We saw a little bit of that. So yes, some stuff does go down. Martha starts shooting, but then Martha passes out. This is going to get a little wacky. So we will talk about some convenience because I think it's going to be a good episode, but there's going to be some things that happens probably going to make you scratch your head a little bit. So apparently Martha passes out because she's been shot, and instead of just killing her, which is what they probably should have done, they don't leave her behind. They take Al's van and they tie her up inside the van. So Martha is going to be like, she's just going to live through everything. So Martha's shooting at him. Martha passes out, and instead just like, you're going to die. You're gone. They're like, no, we'll tie you up. We'll put you in the back of the van. We might want to do something with you later. So here we go. More on that in a second. So the group's planning to get out of the hospital, and how do they do it? So here's the plan. They want to use the elevator to get everyone out, and Morgan is going to stay up on the roof to help them to kind of make a distraction, just in case they get trapped by walkers. They do make it out, and Morgan apparently throws a corpse off the roof of the building onto a car and sets off the car alarm that distracts them. So this is my other question. Do these batteries never die in cars? I'm just wondering. I mean, that may be the convenience of the night. But yeah, apparently you can still set off all these car alarms. Then the next question people want to know is, do they escape the hospital? They do. So everyone gets out, and Morgan is the genius. You know, he comes up with a plan. And guess what the group does? The group comes back with a fire truck. This seemed a little unbelievable to me too. But you know what? I questioned when Spoiling Dead fans said there was a bear trap. I questioned that too. But apparently there's a fire truck. Just one of those around. And they can use the ladder, of course, to, I guess, get to the top of the hospital. Let's see. What goes down with Jim? So Jim has been bitter, but you know what? He finally decides to help the group out. I mean, he knows he's going to die. So they're all trapped on the ground after they rescue Morgan from the top of the hospital. So Jim apparently jumps. This is great. If this is the way this happened, I'm like going over this. So apparently Jim jumps also and sets off another car alarm. So this is great. It's like Morgan's going to throw a walker off to set off one alarm, and then Jim apparently is going to plunge to his death and set off another car alarm. I'm not lying. So people are also curious about Morgan's mental state, and apparently he seems perfectly normal after Alicia, he realizes Alicia's there. So he wants to honor Jim and take everyone with him after they find Al. So, hey, the plan is still on. I know the hospital was a slight diversion, slowed us down, but you know what? We're still on our way to Alexandria. So, and here it is. What you've all been waiting for. What happens to Martha? So apparently this is the way the episode ends. So Martha escapes being tied up. And so she takes Jim. And she writes some stuff on Jim's face. So Martha is still out there. And she has a brand new pet. So this is a little bit of, it could be a little bit unbelievable, but we watch a show that's unbelievable. What am I talking about? Martha, let me recap this one more time, and then you guys can give me the vote. She's in a shootout after she'd already been shot. She passes out. Alicia and Charlie don't kill her. They tie her up. But while all this stuff's going on, she manages to break free and says, what the heck? That guy jumped off. Now she's going to take Jim as her pet. Okay, everybody. Now is the time you've all been waiting for. This is where we have a lot of fun with it. Based on the spoilers I just read you, I need you to give me a rating of what you think tonight's episode. There's only 2 left, so there's going to be some stuff we didn't talk about. I mean, there's going to be a few things that, it's not all inclusive, but you got to sort of enjoy. So from a 1 to a 10, everybody give me your score right now, and I will give you my score, and then I'll give you some criteria of what could possibly change my mind and what I'm going to be looking for in tonight's episode. So we got some 8s. Lisa is coming out with an 8. Maggie says 7. Pete D with a 6. Pete's been not feeling it lately, right, Pete? I mean, the second half's been sort of winding down a little bit. Scores have gotten a little bit lower. But a lot of 6s tonight. Coma Drug says 6. Kirby Hughes says 6. I'm just looking right now. Viola says 6. We got a few people, 8s, 9s. Janet Person says 6. So I like this, all right, because there's some really low expectations. And historically, and by historically, I don't mean the first 3 seasons. I mean historically season 4. When we've not expected a lot, it's been one of the better shows. Toledo coming in with a 5. There you go, Toledo. Say what you mean. All right. I'm going to give it a 7.5 because I like the fact that they group up. I like the fact they do still have a radio. I mean, we gave that the coincidence of the week last week they got the radio. But now that they have it, I can't penalize them for it. So it's going to be easier for them to all find each other. It's like, hey, I got John, I got Strand. Where are you guys at? Oh, we're at the hospital. No problem. We'll meet you up there. We're just going to ask Waze to take us there. I mean, apparently it's going to be pretty easy to find this hospital. So I'm okay. I'm going to give it a 7.5. But now I have to give you the criteria of what could make it a really good episode, or if they overdo it, I will take points away. So number 1, we're going to need a crazy, way too convenient coincidence. And I'm already thinking the fire truck, but I got to see the way it happens. Could be something else, but the fire truck might be worth some points here. Number 2, there has to be an obvious callback to The Walking Dead. Last week, one of the big callbacks from The Walking Dead was the hospital doors and the walkers reaching out. So every week there's been like, that's The Walking Dead. So tonight, I want you to look for it, and I want you to tell me what in tonight's episode is like, I saw that in The Walking Dead, and you remember it happened. So those to me are probably going to be worth about, I don't know, a half a point each. All right. So coincidence, callback. Number 3, Martha's villain. So we know Martha's still the villain. So I need to see how dark and how evil she could be. So if it's a little too corny with the tie-up and with the fact that I don't see her in that role and I start sympathizing with her mental state, then I'm not going to give it any points. But Martha villain is definitely something I'm going to be looking for. And number 4, and this is where all the bonus points are going to kick in. I got to see a unique walker, a unique setup, a unique thing that's really cool. Falling off the top of a building, and that could have been included in the spoiler and setting off the alarm, it's been done. And to do it twice, I don't know that I'm going to use that as my... But you know what? If there's some creativity in the fire truck or the ladder or I'm going to probably research how big a fire truck ladder is. And if they have one that is much, much bigger than what the typical one is, then I'm going to call that out. So there's going to be a couple things I'm going to be looking for. But the generator evidently still running a week later. It's not a week later. Hopefully you guys got that. But something unique. I'm looking for something very unique. Could be a unique walker. Could be a unique situation. Either or. And if it's written well, I'm willing to go much higher than a 7.5. However, the only person I think of Substance Drama King, I think Jim is the only one that dies tonight. I mean, a bunch of walkers, but just Jim. And he's going to reanimate. That has to be like the worst. And we'll talk about that in the reaction. But think about the irony. Jim wants to live, but then he gets bit. But then he's willing to die to help people, and then he becomes a pet. So, I don't know. I think my caveat would have been, look, I'm going to help you guys, but you are going to put me out at the very end, so I cannot walk around. So if I'd have been probably yelling like, hey, I'm about to jump off here. And when I do, this alarm, I'm going to save all of you, but you got to do one thing. Somebody's got to, stick a knife in my head. So I can't be someone's pet, or I can't walk around the streets of Houston. I love it. See, I got my fact checker already. Neufeld 12 says the ladder will most likely reach the 7th floor. Okay, I'm good with that. So I'm going to ask you guys, just kind of keep your eyes peeled for something that is really cool is going to go down. So we will, in tonight, 10:15, we'll do the reaction video, and we'll talk about how good the episode was. I think it's going to be a decent episode. They always get better when the whole group is back together. They get a little watered down in the middle, but it's so funny that we were talking about Morgan 6 episodes ago making his way to Alexandria, and what did we say? We kept saying, like, okay, it's going to be either a bridge out, they're going to run into some weather, something has to stall them. So apparently, dude stealing Al's van, that stalled him. Martha stalled him. The hospital, that stalled him. So I mean, it's believable that they have some adventures, but I just don't know how much longer these adventures can take place in order to make their way back. All right, everybody. So we're about 16 minutes in. We're going to keep this. Hopefully, you guys got all the spoiler information. We have it out there. We will talk about The Walking Dead. And once again, I want to make this announcement. There is no confirmed spoiler for Rick Grimes' exit at this point. Trust me when I tell you this, it's not anywhere. It's not published. So anyone claiming to have it, it's not there. So please, I know some people are hyped up because I got a ton of messages over the last couple days, and they're like, have you seen it? Have you seen it? And I couldn't respond to everybody, so I figured I would just get in this video and say it's not true. A few people I did and say it's not factual, because I saw the person sort of bragging about the fact that they were famous because they made something up and misled some people. We usually don't do shout-outs in our countdown episode because of spoilers. However, I do have one special shout-out that I want to do because Tommy, one of our moderators here, his mom is going through a very difficult medical situation, Jackie McCandless. And if you guys could all just do me a favor in this video, I wanted to give this shout out, but if you guys could all just give a 999 Jackie and just let it stream up along the side because, I want her to check this out. And we'll just dedicate this stream to Tommy's mom and hopefully wish her the best and she gets well soon. So if you guys could just put a 999 Jackie right there, show a little bit of love. I will see everybody tonight, and we'll do some extended conversation at 10:15. So thanks, everybody. I'll see you all soon. Peace.